I'm fired. Sal, it's only my second day. My hands are tied, kid. Your boyfriend is making all kinds of trouble for me. He searched frantically through the desk for something. I've got inspectors coming out my butt. They're trying to take my place from me, and your boyfriend is leading the charge. What are you talking about, Sal? I eased down into the chair across from his desk. I'm saying some smooth-talking suit wearing goon came in here real arrogant, telling me I made 2 major mistakes, hiring you and choosing the wrong uniform for you. Then he tells me for one mistake I'll lose my restaurant, and for the other mistake, if I don't want to lose my life, I will fire you as soon as you get here. So there, you're fired. He slammed the drawer and pinned me with a hateful look. I was speechless. My mouth opened and closed at least 2 times before I got out. And you believed him? Look, kid, you're not from around these parts, so you don't know the powers that be here. Your boyfriend and his family are very powerful, and I'm sure there is many a stiff at the bottom of the lake right now because of him. But I need my job, Sal. He slammed his fat paw down on his desk, causing his cup of Coke to fall to the floor. Listen to me, girl. Spittle came from his mouth as he pointed his pudgy finger at me. Take my advice. Go back where you came from. You've got yourself entangled with a very dangerous man. And I ain't taking the risk. It's bad enough I may lose my place. I sure as hell ain't gonna lose my life. When I looked into the eyes of that suit that was in here earlier, I looked into the eyes of a stone cold killer. And guess what, princess? He works for your boyfriend. I stumbled out of Sal's office. I couldn't believe what I had just heard. Koti, are you alright? Hadaria ran and put her arms around me. As soon as she did, my knees gave out. What is it, Koti? What's wrong? She helped me to a chair. Sal just fired me. I blinked, trying to get my mind to catch up with all the information it had just been fed. He fired you? For what? She yelled. My phone binged in my bag. With hands that shook, I took it out. The message from my king. When you're ready to talk, I'll be here waiting. Rage. Pure, unadulterated rage raced through my veins. I have never been so angry. I was so mad that when I looked up from my phone, all I saw was red. Killer or no, power or none, he had no right to do what he did today. This was my life. This job was all I had. My tomorrows were uncertain. I didn't know what my next move was going to be. Maybe school was for me. Maybe it wasn't. This place wasn't my home. I didn't have a home. But one thing I know for sure, I needed my job. With hands that shook, I text back. I'm on my way. Hadaria, can you please give me a ride? She paced back and forth, her anger reflecting mine. Yeah, sure. Where? Solomon's. What happened? I'll tell you on the way. I grabbed my bag and slammed out of Sal's. I never had planned on going away to school, I told her as we drove. I had planned to do a little local college and going to work at the community center around my house. I never thought that my grandmother would die, leaving me all alone in this world. Me and her, we had each other, you know? The fact that I'm here at this school is only a blessing for Yah. I had planned on saving up my money and sitting down and mapping out my life. I knew I had 10 months to save enough cash so that when school was over, I can be moving into an apartment. Now what am I going to do? Sal's was perfect for me. First off, you work there. It's close to school. I had my Shabbats off, and it didn't conflict with my classes. And just like that, he took it away from me. Okay, first, don't panic, Koti. If push come to shove, at the end of the year, you could come stay with us for the summer until classes start back. I was shaking my head before she finished. There was no way I was going to put that kind of pressure on them. They were already struggling to feed their little family. No, Colt, I can't do that. I won't be a burden to no one. You won't be a burden. Yah will provide for us. I don't want to hear no more about that matter. We family, and family look out for each other. You wrong, Ch.10. Yah didn't leave you alone. He guided you down here to us. We're your family now. She took one of her hands off the wheel and grabbed and squeezed mine. I'm serious, little sister. We're here for you. Toda Ch.10. And I thank Yah for you. And thanks for the offer to house my homeless self. I might have to take you up on that offer. I lied. Please forgive me, Yah. But there was no way I would put more pressure on this beautiful Ch.10 and her Ish. I would just have to go find another job and continue on with my plan. But first, I was getting rid of Solomon. I don't care how fine he is. I can't have someone like him in my life. The fact is, I'm a servant of Yah. My whole life I have given to my power. And Solomon is a bad man. By the mouth of two witnesses may all things be established. And even though Jessica didn't say anything about him having contract killers on his payroll, she did say his family had a lot of power here in Georgia. Either way, he wasn't the man for me. When Yah blessed me with a protector, I was sure that that man would be a Yah-fearing servant, a man just like me, and who would give his life to Yah. And that man wasn't Solomon, and tonight he was going to know it. By the time we reached his building, I had good and prepared myself for what I had to do. You need me to go up there with you, Hadaria asked. Nah, it's something I need to do on my own. I hugged her close. What about what Sal told you about his hitman? Yah didn't give us the spirit of fear. If this is my time, then it's my time. However, I don't feel like it's my time. So that means Yah is my shield. Evening, Miss Stormy. How are you? The doorman opened my door. I was surprised that he knew my name. Not good, I said to him. But then I turned and hugged Kadaria again. I'll call you when I get back to my dorm, okay? She nodded. You be careful. Go with Yah. If you need me, call me. I'll be here in like 10 minutes. Toda Ch.10. Pray for us. Then I got out the car and forced myself to shut her door easily. She wasn't the one who hurt me. But everything within me wanted to smash something. Sal may be scared of these people, but I wasn't. Like I told Hadaria, Yah didn't give his servants the spirit of fear. He was going to pay for messing with my life. How dare he? What right did he have? Rich, spoiled brat. Some of us had to work to survive. Some of us needed our jobs. This bastard. Everybody in the lobby turned to look at me. I didn't care that I said it out loud. All I saw was red. Is everything all right, Miss Stormy? The doorman asked behind me. I didn't answer. I just marched toward the elevator, which opened as if it was expecting me, as if it knew and understood that I was coming to wage war. On the ride up, I thought of all those nice objects in his house that were just ripe for smashing. I know deep down inside of me, I should be praying and ask Yah to help me be level-headed. I should leave this matter in Yah's hands and just go back to my dorm. Vengeance is Yah. I know, but maybe I had become possessed, because the only thing I prayed for right now was for a bat and Solomon's head on a platter. Yeah, that's what I wanted. The first thing I saw when I stepped out of the elevator was a pair of red boxing gloves sitting on the parlor table. There was a yellow posted sign that read, "In the gym, Makati." I dropped my bag by the door and picked up the gloves. As I walked down the hall towards the gym, I could hear the sound of someone hitting a punching bag. As soon as I walked in, the sight that greeted me made my breath get caught somewhere between my belly and my throat. Solomon, barefoot and shirtless, with only a pair of gray jogging pants on. His muscle back glistened with sweat as he beat the hell out of a punching bag. Without his shirt, I was able to see his tattoo better. It was some kind of script written on a slant from his right shoulder down to his left hip. I wasn't close enough to see what it said. However, when he heard me enter, he turned. Whew! Have mercy. On his impressive right shoulder, slanting down to his right pec, was written Psalms 91. Oh my goodness. The man has Psalms 91 tattooed on him. It is not good that he tattooed himself. Don't get me wrong. The scripture speaks against it. But good gracious, it looks very good on him. Wait, what was I doing? I'm mad at him. What am I thinking? He's a damn fool for getting himself tattooed. Even if it is scriptures. He's a heathen, which was why I had to shake him loose. You look angry, he said. His glistening chest rose and fell with his heavy breathing. Focus, girl. Damn angry. I'm mad as hell. I figured you would be, so I guess you better put on the gloves. He picked up a towel and wiped the sweat from his face. His long locks were pulled back into a ponytail. Why? I spat. Well, I bet you like to take a swing at me. He had the nerve to grin. Wrong. I want to beat the hell out of you. See? So put on the gloves and give it your best shot. You think I wasn't? I slid the gloves on my right hand and then my left. He thought he was so smart. He thought little old me would be afraid of him. Well, he didn't know who he was dealing with. I may not be a fighter, but I was a thinker. And right now, nothing would feel better than breaking his jaw. I looked at him and batted my eyes. Can you help me? I can't get them tied. Here, let me see. I held out my hand, and when he was close enough, I swung, catching him off guard. And although it didn't do much damage, my fist caught him square in his chest. His eyes widened at my deception. Did that sucker punch catch you off guard? I yelled at him before I swung again, hitting him in his chest again. That one he didn't even try to block. So did the sucker punch Sal gave me when I walked into work and he fired me. I swung again and again. I wasn't tall enough to hit him in the jaw, but I tried to work his chest and arms over. The only blocking he did was to halfway turn away from me when I swung. I don't know how long I hit him, but eventually it didn't feel good anymore, so I just stopped. I was breathing so hard, it felt like my chest was going to bust. How do you feel? He asked, looking down at me. In way better shape than me. He wasn't even breathing hard. Betrayed, I gasped out in between breaths. He flinched. How ironic. I tried to get that reaction out of him the whole time I was hitting him. Listen, baby, the last thing I wanted to do is hurt you, but I had to do this. First off, I put my hand up to stop her from getting close to me. I am not, or never will be your baby. Second, how could you be so cruel? I was yelling like a wild woman, but I didn't care. How could you do that? Now what am I supposed to do? I needed that job to survive, Solomon. I know you don't understand that, being born with a silver spoon and all, but every dollar counts to me. You don't have to worry, baby, because my silver spoon is now yours. And then he smirked again. The bastard. What does that mean, Solomon? I yelled up into his face with all my might. It means, Stormy, that my money is your money. You need something, you got it. I don't know if it was the fact that he still spoke so calmly while I was enraged like a bull, or the fact that he was so arrogant to assume I'll anyway be satisfied with that. You think I want your dirty money? I spat at him. Dirty money? Shorty, you tripping. My money green like everybody else's. He walked and picked up a 30-pound weight and began to do bicep curls with it. Your money is red because it's blood money. He laughed at me. Sorry, baby, I don't sell drugs. No, your family just represents drug dealers and white-collar criminals with millions of dollars set aside for their defense funds since their birth, which means you ain't no better than them. You just a paid liar. He threw the weight he was holding down to the ground. Oh yeah, he was mad now. Paid liar, he yelled. Is that the best you can do? Well, how else do you and your powerful family, I held up air quotes, become so rich? Wow, Stormy, you sure are a tough judge. You gonna stand there and judge my family because we're rich? What about Abraham, Stormy? He was rich. Negro, you ain't Abraham, I half yelled and half laughed. I was losing it. I know to him I must look like a mad woman. Stormy the judge, tell me, what am I then? He opened his arms wide. No, you tell me. Did your family get their money like Abraham? Did Yah bless y'all for y'all righteousness? Or did your family get their money and power for representing some of the biggest and wealthiest criminals in the world? He stood there glaring at me with that vein throbbing in his chin. I didn't think so. We glared at each other for a full minute, me breathing hard and him with flared nostrils. He glared at me like he hated me. Some folks hated to hear the truth, because like they say, truth hurts. Anyway, my voice had gone back to normal. No yelling and no rage. I felt done. Don't worry about me. I'll find another job. And the same thing that happened today will happen again. What? I was yelling again. You heard me. I tried to be nice to you and asked you not to work. But your honor has judged a nice man and found him wanting. So let me introduce you to the a-hole that I am. You belong to me. And guess what that means, baby? My dirty, criminal, blood-stained money gonna be the only money your pretty self ever had. It was that evil smile that he wore that let me know this had gone too far. It was that evil smile that reminded me he had a hired killer on his payroll. Who knows how many hired killers he had? And that this would probably be a good time for me to leave. Wrong again, King Solomon. I ain't yours. I'm mine. I turned and ran out the room. I needed to get out of here. Now that my anger was gone, my bravery was waxing thin. I tried to remind myself as I ran, like a big coward, that Yah didn't give us the spirit of fear. But I guess I was just going to have to settle for being a hypocrite. I'll wait to beat myself up about it later. For now, all my concentration was on getting out of that front door. I was concentrating so hard that I didn't hear him come up behind me. I stopped for only a half a second to scoop up my bag, but it was a half a second too long because 1 minute my feet were on the ground and the next I was being scooped up in two powerful arms. Where you going, baby? He hissed in my ear. Put me down, you maniac, I screamed as I tried to buck out his arms. Nothing was working. He was way too strong, which let me know earlier that the only way I was able to punch him like that was because he let me. You can't leave mad. Let's work this out. I don't want to work anything out. We are done. Over. So it really don't matter. I tried again to buck out of his arms. We ain't done, baby. You are mine. He spoke through clenched teeth. The anger in him so real. I could feel it radiating through his body. No, I'm not yours. You didn't ask Yah for me. You didn't even ask me for me. He put me down, and as soon as my feet touched the ground, I snatched away from him. But I couldn't go out the door because he now leaned against it, blocking my exit. You can't just have me, I spat. Sure I can. He smiled again, causing a chill to slide down my spine. It was something in his look that let me know I was about to lose. How? You lay with me of your own free will. According to the Bible, you know, the book you swear you live by. According to the law of Yah, you, he angrily pointed at me, belong to me. Then he smiled, holding his arms up. Read it for yourself, Makati. Exodus 22, verse 16. My mouth literally hit the floor. He couldn't be right. I ran to my bag and pulled out my Bible. With hands that shook, I turned to the scriptures. And as I read, my stomach felt weighed down with bricks. If a man seduces a virgin who is not engaged and lies with her, he must pay a dowry for her to be his wife. Tell me, Makati, how much is your dowry? You named the price and it's yours. He squatted down so that he was eye level with me. But no matter what, you are mine. I looked down at my Bible and I read those words again and again. My mind raced trying to come up with a way out of this. The law was only for that time, I heard a voice say. I shook my head. That wasn't nothing but the devil. My Imai said he always whispered nonsense to you when your emotions were high. There was no way I was rolling with that. It had to be another way out of this. I looked up at him with pleading eyes. Why? Why what? His words were calm. Why are you doing this to me? Would it be so bad being with me? I'm poor and I'm homeless. I'm nobody. My eyes filled with frustrated tears. My family is nobody. We have no name. I was rambling desperately trying to get him to let me go. Now it is you who is wrong, Makati. You are not nobody, not to me. To me, you are my world. And you're poor? Not anymore. No, this couldn't be happening. He was trapping me. I felt like I was suffocating. I had to get away from him. Let me go, I whispered through trembling lips. My cheeks were soaked with tears. Never. The muscle ticked in his jaw again. So that's it. I stood to my feet, leaving my bag right on the floor with my open Bible on top. You're okay with using trickery to trap me? He stood and raised his arms, that evil smile back on his face. I told you, Makati, by any means necessary. I hate you. I turned and ran to the nearest bedroom, locking the door behind me. I stood there for a minute waiting for him to come after me. But after a minute or two, when I didn't hear anything, I walked to the bed and collapsed in it. The tears fell hot and heavy from my eyes. I had gone and got myself into big trouble, and I had no idea how I was going to get out of it. Dear Yah, why have you forsaken me?